Listen, let me tell you something directly. Have you ever noticed that sometimes you need to leave home to really see what home gave you? You pack your bags, catch a flight, land in America, and suddenly everyone calls you a tech genius, an IT wizard, a coding king, or a startup queen, and you sit there thinking, man, back home my auntie still doesn't know what I do. She just tells people Beta works with computers. But now here you are in Silicon Valley, New York, Dallas, Boston, grinding late nights, carrying 2 phones, juggling 3 laptops, coding in one language, texting in another, maybe even dreaming in a third. You got chai on one side and Starbucks on the other. You're living in 2 worlds at the same time. And this is why I need you to hear this message today. Because you, the Indians abroad, the dreamers, the doers, you are not just representing yourself. You are representing 1.4 billion people every time you walk into those offices with your badge around your neck. Now let's be honest, America loves you. Why wouldn't they? They need you. Every big company here has Indians running major roles. CEOs whose names once got mispronounced at airports are now signing billion-dollar checks, from Sundar to Satya, to all the engineers who don't always get seen but keep everything running. You are the backbone of this digital empire. But don't forget this, while you're building their dreams and making them rich, you also have to remember the soil you came from, because no matter how high you fly, your roots aren't in California. They're in Chennai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Delhi, Lucknow, Gujarat, and right now, India is standing at the edge of history. We are about to become something the world didn't expect, drivers of the future. But that future needs you. Not in 10 years, not someday when you retire and buy a villa back home, but right now. The world is in chaos, countries fighting over chips, data, and who will control the AI that will shape your children's future. And in the middle of all this, India is rising. We are no longer just the back office. We are no longer only fixing bugs at 2 a.m. We are designing, leading, and rewriting the rules. And the people who can make sure India doesn't just join the game, but actually lead it, are you, the Indians in America, in Google offices, Tesla meetings, and small startups that nobody knows yet, but soon will. You hold the keys to India's destiny, so never underestimate your power. You know what I notice sometimes? Our own people doubt themselves. Oh, I'm just a software engineer, I'm just a coder, I'm just a data scientist. Stop saying just. You are not just anything. You are the reason planes arrive on time. You are the reason banks don't crash. You are the reason satellites stay connected. You are the reason medical records don't disappear. You keep this whole system alive. Do you understand how powerful that is? Let me put it this way. When America sneezes, the world catches a cold. But when Indians abroad whisper, the world listens. Because people know you have the intelligence, the discipline, and the grind to turn industries upside down. But here's the urgent truth. You cannot keep all that brilliance locked here and think your responsibility ends. Your parents back home didn't sacrifice for you just to sit in a nice office and forget them. Your mother didn't light that kerosene lamp so you could ignore your roots. Your father didn't stand in long lines to pay your school fees for you to forget his dreams. Your teachers didn't push you just for you to vanish into comfort. You owe them more than remittances. You owe them your ideas, your leadership, your innovation. India does not need charity. India does not need pity. India needs its brightest minds to stop hiding in the shadows of someone else's dream and start building new ones with the tricolor on top. And I know what some of you are thinking. But I already left. My kids speak more English than Hindi. My home loan is in dollars, not rupees. My life is here now. And I get that. I'm not saying pack up tomorrow and move back with 2 suitcases. What I'm saying is that wherever you live, your responsibility doesn't end. You can still mentor startups in India from here. You can still send investment to your hometown. You can still open doors for the next Indian kid who wants to build an app, a chip, a rocket, or a cure. You can still speak up when people talk about India in boardrooms where the Indian flag isn't flying yet. You can still make every success you achieve here into a bridge back to the land that raised you. Let me share a story. A few months ago, I met a young Indian guy in Texas working at a big tech firm. He told me, "Sir, sometimes I feel guilty because I left India and I'm just here working." And I said, "Why feel guilty? Every day you have two choices, live small or live global. Living global means you're not trapped by borders, but it also means you never forget the soil that gave you wings." That boy started mentoring Indian startups every Saturday on Zoom. Today, 3 of those startups are alive because of him. That is the power of one person. See, we think India needs big revolutions, but revolutions don't always begin in parliaments or on battlefields. Sometimes they begin in small WhatsApp groups, in late-night Zoom calls, in a simple encouragement that helps someone believe they can be a founder. You must be that mentor, that bridge, that voice. Because let's be real, America is good at taking talent, but it's even better at keeping it distracted. You got Netflix, Costco, 401ks, weekends lost in soccer games and Walmart runs, and before you know it, 20 years are gone building someone else's dream while your own dream faded. That's the trap. Don't fall for it. Build here, shine here, yes. But don't let comfort erase contribution. Don't let applause erase responsibility. Indians abroad always shine the brightest in crisis. During the pandemic, who scaled vaccines? India. When tech layoffs came, who bounced back faster than anyone else? Indians. When the space race heated up, who landed near the moon's south pole? India. We are built for resilience. We are built for comebacks. And you carry that same spirit abroad, which means when the question is asked, who will lead the digital future? The answer should never be someone else. The answer must be the children of Bharat, whether at home or abroad. And let me end with this. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Some of you are sitting on billion-dollar ideas but are scared to risk it. What if I fail? What if it doesn't work? Let me tell you something. You already failed if you never try. Failure is not falling down. Failure is refusing to rise. India doesn't need you to be perfect. India needs you to be brave. Stop playing small when your ancestors crossed oceans with nothing but faith. Stop doubting when the blood of inventors, saints, warriors, and dreamers runs through your veins. I don't care if you are coding in a cubicle, leading a team, or running a whole company. Every single one of you carries a responsibility. The West may give you a job, but only India gives you an identity. An identity is something you can never afford to lose. You can drive a Tesla, wear a Rolex, live in a mansion, but if you don't use that power to uplift the soil that raised you, then what is it all really worth? This is not just another moment in history, this is a turning point. If Indians abroad align their skills and energy with India's vision, then the 21st century won't just be another chapter, it will truly be India's century. Think about that for a moment, because this isn't just a motivational line, it's a fact waiting to be proven. Look around you right now, the world is shifting. Old powers that once dictated everything are stumbling. New powers are trying to rise. And standing in the middle of that storm, steady and strong, is India. The numbers speak louder than anything else. The youngest workforce on Earth, the fastest growing major economy, the largest democracy, and the most ambitious space program in the global South. None of that happened by chance. It happened because generation after generation of Indians carried a dream forward. And now, the baton is in your hands, especially those of you living abroad. The question is simple. What are you going to do with it? The 21st century will not be shaped by who owns the biggest army, at least not in the way the past was. It will be decided by who controls the code, who builds the chips, who owns the data, who leads in AI, biotech, green energy, and space exploration. It will be decided by who dares to take risks, to create companies that don't just serve investors but help shape nations. And that's where Indians abroad come in, because let's face it, you're already sitting in the control rooms of tomorrow. From California to New Jersey, from Texas to Seattle, you already have your hands on the levers of the digital future. You know how to innovate, you know how to scale, you know how to hustle in the most competitive environment in the world. But just imagine this. What if all that knowledge, all that experience, all that skill wasn't only used to climb the corporate ladder, but also to lift an entire country? That's when India stops being called a rising power and starts being the power. And I'm not talking about a dream 50 years away. I'm talking about right now, because history doesn't wait for anyone. The world today is asking urgent questions. Who will protect global supply chains? Who will keep the internet safe from cyber threats? Who will make sure AI does not become a monster that destroys lives and communities? Who will lead humanity into space beyond Earth? And while the old powers argue and compete, India has the chance to step forward and say, we are ready. But we can only say that if our sons and daughters abroad stay connected to the vision back home. You can't be an island anymore. You can't think, I made it in America, my job is done. No, your real work has only begun, because your success here gives you influence there, and that influence can rewrite the future for everyone. Now think about what India's vision truly is. It's not only about building skyscrapers or highways, it's about dignity for every citizen. It's about technology that solves real problems. Clean water for villages, affordable medicine for the poor, quality education for children, and clean energy for the future. It's about being a voice of balance in a divided world. It's about showing that a nation can grow rich without losing its soul, that we can embrace modernity without abandoning tradition. That vision is larger than any one leader or one government. It's the vision of a civilization thousands of years old that is now ready to lead again. And who will carry that vision to the world? Not just farmers in Punjab or coders in Bangalore. It will also be carried by techies in California, researchers in Boston, doctors in Houston, entrepreneurs in New York. Indians abroad are not spectators. You are frontline players in this story. But here's the truth. You cannot align with that vision if you get too comfortable. Comfort is the enemy of destiny. You start thinking, I have my house, I have my car, my kids are in good schools, my life is set. And while you think that way, someone else is out there building the future. And when that future arrives, you may find yourself left behind. That's why this is so urgent. This is the window. The 2020s and 2030s are the decades that will decide who runs this century. If India and its diaspora move together, if we align, then we won't just be part of history. We will shape it. But if we waste this chance, if we sit on the sidelines, then the opportunity will pass us by, and our children will ask why we didn't step up when the world needed us most. So what does alignment actually mean? It means you don't only work for a paycheck, you work for a purpose. It means when you sit in boardrooms, you don't speak only as an employee, you speak as a representative of 1.4 billion dreams. It means when you invest, you don't just look at returns, you look at how it can lift communities in India. It means when you create, you don't just think about Silicon Valley, you think about the Silicon Valleys of India. Alignment means your Indian identity is not something you hide to fit in, but something you display proudly to stand out, because the world respects authenticity. And when people see your success linked to a nation that is rising with you, they respect not just you, but India as well. Look at history, and you'll see the power of alignment. Jewish communities built influence across the globe, but never forgot Israel. Chinese professionals abroad send billions back, build factories, mentor startups, and now China is a global giant. Why should India be any different? In fact, India can do it even better because Indians abroad are not concentrated in one place. You are everywhere. In America, in Canada, in Europe, in Africa, in the Middle East, in Australia, there's no corner of the world where you won't find an Indian making an impact. That's not just migration, that's strategy, that's global positioning, that's destiny in motion. But destiny only works if you are willing to work it. And let's be clear, this alignment is not about charity. India doesn't need handouts. India is already moving fast, with or without you. Roads are being built. Rockets are being launched. Startups are booming. Unicorns are multiplying. But if you align your skills, your capital, and your influence, then India doesn't just move forward, it leaps forward. And that leap will benefit you as well. Think about it. When India becomes the strongest economy in the world, do you think your children will be treated the same way in America? No, they will be treated with more respect because power always commands respect. Do you think your ideas will be ignored when they come from the top economy on the planet? No, people will listen because nations always listen to winners. That's why alignment is not only about helping India, it's also about helping yourself, your children, and your grandchildren. Imagine the world 20 or 30 years from now. Imagine Indian-led companies at the top of every industry, Indian innovation driving global progress, Indian diplomacy helping maintain peace, Indian culture inspiring creativity worldwide. Imagine airports where the Indian passport is honored with pride. Imagine boardrooms where people lean in when an Indian voice speaks. Imagine universities where Indian students are not just the best performers, but also the creators of new knowledge. This is not fantasy. This is the path we are already on. But we will not reach that future if we stay divided, if we grow too comfortable, if we let others write our story. We will only get there if every Indian abroad decides, I am part of this. I am not just a visitor here, I am building India's destiny from wherever I stand. But alignment also requires sacrifice. It might mean skipping one vacation to mentor a startup back home. It might mean investing in an Indian project instead of just a US stock. It might mean teaching your children the language of your ancestors so they don't grow up without roots. It might mean stopping the apologies for your accent and realizing it's the sound of history speaking through you. It means not running away from your identity, but running with it. Because when you align your personal ambition with your nation's vision, something powerful happens. You stop being small and you become unstoppable. And don't misunderstand me, alignment doesn't mean everyone has to move back. The beauty of this era is that you can be global while still being local. You can sit in California and change lives in Coimbatore. You can work in Boston and build companies in Bangalore. You can live in Houston and help transform healthcare in Hyderabad. Technology has erased distance as an excuse. What remains is only the question of will. Do you have the will to make your success bigger than your salary? Do you have the will to make your legacy more meaningful than your LinkedIn profile? Do you have the will to say, I am not just here for myself, I am here for my people, my nation, my civilization? If you do, then nothing can stop this century from being India's century. This is not the time for small dreams. This is not the time to play safe. This is not the time to hide behind somebody else's shadow. This is the time for courage, for vision, for bold action. This is the time for Indians abroad to rise and say, we are with India, we are India. We may live oceans away, but our hearts beat with the same rhythm as those back home. And when that alignment takes shape, when that collective will becomes real, the world will no longer see Indians only as good workers or reliable employees. The world will see Indians as leaders, visionaries, and builders of the future. And that is when the prophecy comes true. That is when the 21st century does not just belong to somebody else. It belongs to India, it belongs to Bharat, and it belongs to you.